back to the Embeemakes knitting channel. My name's Melissa and I'm the maker behind Embeemakes, here on YouTube as well as on Instagram and Ravelry. Be sure to follow me on other platforms as well if you would like to be kept up to date on what I'm working on. And also be sure to subscribe here on YouTube or leave a comment below if you like. As always, everything I talk about today will be below in the description box. But if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or send me a DM on Instagram. I'm also always happy to chat with you. So it's a nice sunny day today and it's the last day of February. So I wanted to film my February podcast episode. And I have quite a lot to talk about, so let's get started right away. First, obviously, what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing my finished chunky Dahlia by Knit or Linné Holm Samsu. It's finally off the needles. I have been working on this since I think November last year. Or October maybe, end of October. And I didn't knit on it continuously. It did take some time for me to knit the yoke because I had to sit at my desk and really keep the chart with me. It wasn't difficult, but I knit a few rows, then went and did something else. So I wasn't really that focused on this. And I also had other projects going on at the time. But the past month I really took the time to finally finish this. I think last episode I did a bit of the body, but no sleeves yet. And yeah, now it's completely finished with a lovely bit of a balloon sleeve. Nice fitted here around my wrist. I'm wearing a light pink long sleeve top underneath. But yeah, it's a bit of a skin tone color, so it blends nice in. I wouldn't wear something white under this, I think, because it would be a bit too visible. Maybe something black. I didn't really have anything in the exact same color as my sweater, so I thought this light pink would be best to wear with it, because the holes here are quite large from the yarn overs. But yeah, I really love this. I made this with Drops Air in the color Raspberry. And I used just under 6 skeins for this sweater. I knit the size medium and I used 6mm needles instead of the 7mm that were recommended. But with this yarn I got gauge with 6mm needles. And I do have a bit of the yarn left. So this is what I have left of my 6th skein. This was a bit left over from the 5th. I did use a new ball for the 2nd sleeve because I knew I wouldn't have enough with this. So I wanted a fresh ball to not have to deal with ends or anything in the sleeve. And just make sure that it's just from one skein. I'm not sure what I will do with this. This will probably go with my other scraps with similar yarn, because I do have some scraps from Drops Air from my Eevee sweater that I made last year in the light blue. And I have some single skeins of Drops Air in different colors. So I might make some kind of stripy sweater somewhere in the future. Or knit something small, I don't know yet. But this will go back into my stash. So yeah, this is actually, I think, the first finished sweater I knit with yarn from my stash specifically. Well, I did already start this in October, but I had the yarn in stash for quite a while already. So yeah, I will put in some footage of me wearing it somewhere here on the screen so you can see it fully. It's yeah, really lovely. It's the first time I'm really wearing it. I did wear it for a bit before blocking, but now it's fully blocked as well. And nicely opened up the lace. It's really soft against my neck. It's not scratchy at all to me. I might need to put in an elastic later, but for now I think it's fine. It's not too wide. Yeah, I like how it sits. And I just also need to sew in a label in the back because it's just a round yoke with no short rows or anything. So the front and back is actually the same, but I do want this to be the front because yeah, it's just the way I knit it. Yeah, so I will sew in my label. Yeah, I'm really happy I can wear it now. It's still very cold. It's sunny, but around 4 or 5 degrees outside, I think. So it's really, yeah, nice and warm to wear this sweater, but still feels like spring already with the sun out. So yeah, really happy with this finished object. The next finished object has been on my needles for, yeah, not that long, since December. And it is my finished Sophie Shawl, also in drops air. But I don't have any left of this because I really wanted to get most of the yarn, yeah, just a lot out of the yarn to finish this shawl. So I actually didn't really use the Sophie Shawl pattern by Petiteknit. I used her Sophie Scarf pattern because I already had that in my stash, well, in my library. And I did knit 2 little Sophie scarves already. And I thought, well, the Sophie Shawl is actually just the bigger version, so I should just knit it longer. But I did adapt it a bit. I did increase a bit faster than for the tiny scarf version. So yeah, I repeat the increase a bit faster and then decreased at the same rate as I increased again. So just a bit, yeah, there's less rows between increases and decreases. So that it would still get quite nice and wide, but not too wide. And I really love the length of this. I don't know which length it corresponds to in the real shawl pattern, but for me it's just perfect. I had 2 skeins of the drops air in this light grey, and what I did was just knit until I almost finished my first skein. So I kept increasing, and then I added my second skein and started the decreasing. And so this exactly used up 2 skeins. I think I only have like, oh, here it is. This is what I have left of the second skein. So yeah, this really is a perfect stash busting project. If you have like 2 skeins of drops air, or yeah, maybe another yarn that has around the same meterage, or you just want to use up yarn that you have, you can just knit until you have used the half of your yarn and then decrease for the other half. and I can wrap it around my neck comfortably, like 2 times. I like to wear it like this. So it's nice and cozy, again super soft because it drops air. I've been wearing this a lot and it's not really pilling much for me. I can even tie this little ends like that. So yeah, that's nice and warm. Or yeah, I could just have it go around just once and wear it like this. But like now it's cold enough to wear it like 2 times, but when it gets a bit less cold I could wear it like this. And yeah, this grey color goes very well with my coat. I do have 2 winter coats and it goes well with both of them because it's quite a neutral color. Yeah, this is a really perfect shawl for me. And yeah, I just want to wear it every day. I wear it every time I go out. And the garter stitch is like so squishy and soft. It also stretched nicely with blocking, but not too much because you have this this edge that keeps it from stretching too much. So that's just perfect. Yeah, would definitely make this again. I do have yarn for it, as I mentioned in last podcast, I think. But that will be for more in the fall or end of year, because it's okay now. I don't need another at this moment, but I will knit one again this year. Okay, I think that's it for finished objects. Then let's go to my whips. The first whip is sock. It's half finished. I started this sock I think in October or November. Might be November. It's just some self-striping yarn. Put the name of it below. It's this this ball of yarn. It's some lovely self-striping yarn by Scheepjes. It's the Scheepjes Downtown. And so that's this ball. And for the cuff and toe, and I will also do the heel with Lana Grossa Meilenwijd in this neutral beigey color. I thought it would go perfect with the kind of bold stripes. I'm kind of self-drafting this pattern, not really planning to make this into a pattern, but just for me. I'm using a 2x2 rib. I cast on 56 stitches and just knit in the round, and let the yarn do its thing. And then I did a toe, just decreased, yeah, regular toe. First decreased every other round and then every round to make it like nice and rounded. I really like this. And I will add in a heel, I think around this stripe here. I have to make sure that my foot still fits, but I have tiny feet, so that will be okay, I think. I will measure it against another sock to make sure. So yeah, that will be a nice pair of socks. I have cast on my yarn is tangled. The second sock I only just started again the stripes. This, I forgot about this a bit, so I didn't work on it that much, barely at all last 2 months actually. But then I found it in a bag and I thought, well, I should really finish these. These were supposed to be my fall socks, but now it's almost spring. But yeah, I still love the colors, and these are really nice and soft, these socks. I will see how this turns out, this sock recipe. If I like it, I might use it again for some other stripy socks. Yeah, it's really handy to take on the go because you're just knitting it around. For these I'm doing it magic loop. Yeah, not much to say about this. Okay, then some other socks that have been on the needles for a while are my everyday socks, not for me, but for my grandmother, who loves purple. And I finished the first sock, but I showed that last time, I think. So this is the first sock, if you don't remember, or if you've not seen the last episode. And I'm so close to finishing the second sock. Last time I think I was before the heel, so I did the heel and the foot, and now I'm ready to do the toe decreases. So I will do them tonight so that this sock is finished and off the needles in February. And yeah, I'm really happy with how they turn out. I hope my grandmother is happy with them as well. It's still quite cold here in Belgium, so she will get some wear out of this. And yeah, if not at the moment, then later this year definitely, when it gets cold again. Yeah, these are really nice. And this yarn is again some self-striping yarn, but I will put below if you want to know the exact name of it. And yeah, again, hope to finish these tonight. I won't be showing them probably in the next podcast because I will gift them as soon as they're finished. But yeah, that's the Everyday Socks by Petiteknit. Then the next projects, maybe let's keep it going with the socks. If you've seen my last video I put here on YouTube, it was a video about 10 free sock knitting patterns. You might have seen these already, but if you have not, go check out that video if you'd like to. I cast on some new socks with some hand-dyed yarn. This is the yarn, really lovely colors, and it's yarn by Ladybug Yarn, and it's the color Lake View, and it's on their Ladybug sock yarn. It's a superwash, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, 420 meters per 100 grams. And yeah, so that's the main color. And for the contrast color, I'm using some Filcolana Arvetta in this quite perfectly matching purple. This yarn has lots of colors in it, but some nice purple hues. And I thought this went perfectly with it. And so this is the sock I'm working on. And yeah, this is the broken rib socks. It's a free pattern that I mentioned in my last video. And yeah, it's a really simple stitch actually, just some ribbing, and then you have some broken rib texture, but you have lots of knitting. Just every other round is after a few knit stitches you have a purl stitch. I think here I did six or seven knit stitches, then purl stitch again, six knit stitches, a purl stitch, and then the round after it is just all knitting. So it's really simple and quite mindless, but still gives a bit more texture than just a vanilla sock. I didn't want to take away too much from this special yarn, but I think this is just great. The pattern itself is normally for 2 at a time socks, but I didn't feel like doing 2 at a time. I just wanted to take my time with this and wanted it to be easy to take on the go, as it was quite a simple stitch pattern. So I'm using my 9-inch circulars, 2.25 millimeter, and yeah, I probably won't do the heel from the pattern. It's heel flap and gusset, but I'm thinking about doing just another kind of short row heel or something. So that's why I haven't knit a lot on this last week, because I'm thinking about what heel I should do. Maybe if you have any ideas for me, what heel do you like to knit? I've mostly done slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, or a short row heel. I did use an Eye of Partridge heel on my Christmas socks, but yeah, if you have any other nice heel methods, feel free to put them below if you'd like. So yeah, I will work on this again later. And I thought I was done with talking about socks, but I have one more sock whip, and that's probably the most exciting one. And it's the Herdingcats by Stone Knits. And I finished one sock already. Yeah, I absolutely love these. All the different colored cats, the main color yarn itself is just pretty gray blue shade. Really love this. And I'm nicely working on the second sock. I just did the heel, so I'm halfway there. I need 3 more cat repeats and then the toe. I have enough yarn. This is my main color, and it's Olivia and Oliver fibers, but it was a misfit skein, I think. And then for the cats, I can show you on this one better. So on this one, this first cat is from Ginger and Thyme hand-dyed yarn. I think it's the color Pumpkin Spice. Then the white cats is just some Filcolana Arvetta. These brown cats are from Twolhuis hand-dyed yarn. It's a local yarn shop to me. The orange ones here are again Filcolana Arvetta. These grey cats I need to check because this was gifted yarn from my mom and my sister when they went to London. This is Liggen and Lace sock yarn, sock mini. I asked them to get me a mini sock yarn in a cat color, so they chose this this dark grey, and it's a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, just regular sock, and it's the color Suit. So yeah, that's the dark grey one, and then the light grey is again some Filcolana Arvetta. Yeah, I think that's it on this sock. I do really love the pattern. I would really recommend it if you like some work. If you like knitting socks and you want to try some color work, it's really not that hard. You don't have to catch any floats, and yeah, you only work 2 colors at a time because it's all different rows. And also again, this toe is really nicely shaped. It's more rounded. And also the heel method. The heel is really neat. It's some kind of short row heel, but without short rows. Not sure what it's called, but it's really lovely. And I can't wait to wear these. So I hope I will finish these soon, but I think I will, because now I just have to do 3 more cat repeats and then the toe. So yeah, that's it for my socks. Let's move on to maybe one whip that you have seen before, and then let's show you some new whips. So first, you probably have seen these in the last episode. Making sure I don't lose any stitches. But this is my Fridayslipover. It's a bit wrinkled. I finished the back and I started on the front on one side. And that's all I did. I didn't knit a lot on this, but progress is progress, and yeah, I know this will just be some bit of a slow knit, but that's fine. I am enjoying working on this, but the broken rib stitch yeah, it gets quite boring, I think, after a bit. Yeah, and my other whips are more exciting to work on, and just to, yeah, I want to wear these. But this I'm not so... Well, I do want to wear this, but it's not the right time of year, I think, to wear slipovers, at least for me. But I do want to knit on this and have this finished, but yeah, there's no rush. That's what I want to say. There's no rush in finishing this. So I'm just going slow and enjoying it. I think once I connect in the round, it will go quite fast, and I don't have to knit sleeves because it's slipover, just the armholes and the neckbands. So yeah, this is still a whip, probably also next time, but yeah, just making progress a bit. And this is in my lovely handmade project bag. I maybe want to make another one this month, well, next month. because most of my projects are not living in a bag, they're just floating around my room. And so I don't take them as easily downstairs to knit in front of the TV, or go anywhere and knit on them there. So yeah, that aside, let's talk about the next whip. This I showed my swatch and my yarn for it in the last episode, because I knew I wanted to cast this on after my chunky Dahlia, or yeah, at least when I was close to finishing it. And it's the Crescendo blouse by the Knit Purl Girl. And yeah, it's not that easy to show, maybe like that. Yeah. You can't really see the lace now because it's all bunched up. But yeah, it's in this lovely purple color. And it has a double folded neckband that I really like. And then I'm working on the yoke, which is lace work, and is creating these diamond shapes. Can you see? Yeah, diamond shapes. Yeah, I'm really loving working on it. It's knitting up quite fast, I think. Maybe compared to this yoke is yeah, knitting quite fast. This also has short rows. It's the first time I've done that on a sweater, and it really wasn't that hard. I think it looks okay. Maybe if it isn't all that neat, you don't really see because it's quite a dark color. So yeah, I think I did an okay job there. And I'm using a row counter for the first time, and this one is by Ginger and Thyme. She makes them by hand, and yeah, they're just perfect for things like lace work when you need to know which row you are on. Oh, here you can see the diamonds nicely. This is the back with the short row shape. So yeah, this row counter has come in really handy for this. I would definitely recommend using something like this, or else maybe using some paper or anything to write down which row you're on, so that you don't have to count or anything, because it's not always that easy with lace work, I think. So yeah, I do have a bit more of the lace to go, and yeah, then split for sleeves, knit the body, knit the sleeves. But yeah, this is all progress since last episode, because I only started it I think a week after. So yeah, really loving working on this. The yarn, I'm using some drop skid silk. This is still my first ball, so I think it's yeah, it doesn't take up that much yarn. And this is Woolyknit, British wool from a yarn cone from Woolyknit, and I've caked this up in balls to make it easier to work on and take it around my house to work on it. So yeah, this will be really lovely to wear. I don't think it's too itchy. It's okay, I think. But we'll see. I also think it will soften up when I wash and block it. So yeah. And then the last whip I have to show you. is a new cast on. Again, if you've seen my knitting plans video, you might have seen this one already and know what it is. This is my swatch. This is Filcolana Pernilla in the color Chai. It's really lovely brown beige color. I think it will suit me nicely. And I wanted to make a cardigan with this yarn. At first I think I wanted to make the balloon cardigan by Petiteknit. But afterwards I saw her April cardigan and I thought that it would be better for me and more of a staple cardigan that I would wear a lot. Because it has a special, nice fitted shoulders. It has a saddle shoulder shaping. Try and say that 3 times. So yeah, it's a different kind of construction, and I really wanted to try that. So yeah, I cast it on with this yarn. I will maybe make the balloon cardigan later this year in another yarn or just another color. Yeah, for now I wanted to make the April cardigan with this yarn, and I've only just started a few days ago. And this is like for the saddle shoulder, and this is the back and the other shoulder. So yeah, don't have that much to show yet, but I know this is going to be a lovely cardigan. I don't have any buttons picked out yet, but I will wait until I just finish this cardigan and then go to my local yarn store and pick out some buttons that go with it. Yeah, so I know this will be a bit of a longer project because it's again on 4mm needles. No, I'm using 4.5mm needles. But I have a lot of projects on 4 and 4.5mm needles. So these will all take a bit longer than, for example, this one is 6. So it flew by quite fast, especially like the sleeves. I need a sleeve in just a few days. But yeah, just taking it slow and enjoying this. Think it's really important to slow down a bit and just enjoy my knitting and not just knit to have the project finished. Because I do plan on wearing these for a long time, so I want to take my time, get it right. And I don't really like frogging, so I have to make sure I don't make too many mistakes. But then again, tiny mistakes might make it more unique and handmade. I started this project in May of last year. I got the yarn for my birthday. Well, I treated myself to the yarn for my birthday in April. And I cast it on in May, but then it got too warm over summer and I wasn't working on it because it's all mohair. And yeah, I forgot about it a bit, not really, but like it was put in the corner, didn't work on it. I had other knits to knit on. But now with spring coming, I wanted to pick it back up. And yeah, this is the Soufflé tee by Penrose knits. And yeah, can't really see because it's on short needle cable. but this is the top of the yoke, and it's like sheer at the top. But now I have just added in my second strand of yarn, so now it will be less see-through. And it's a lovely like t-shirt kinda blouse pattern with a ruffle in the yoke. And yeah, I will have to add that later. And it has some I-cord edging and some double folded hems at the arms and the bottom, which will all be new techniques to me. So yeah, I think that's also why I'm putting it off a bit, because they're new techniques. I'm not sure if I will do it correctly. It's with mohair, but it's really soft. And I do really want to finish a project, so I'll have to get through it somehow. I'm using the recommended yarn, which is Lang Yarns Lace. The ball band here, Lang Yarns Lace. And yeah, doesn't really have color name or anything. It's this lovely teal blue. Yeah, so just slowly but surely going to keep working on this. Give it some more attention this month, alongside all my other whips. But I'm trying to clear my needles from smaller projects. I will try and only knit on 2 socks at a time, maybe one colorwork sock and one more like texture sock or more simple sock. And then I have a cardigan and a sweater and my slipover. I still have lots of whips, but I did clear some projects of my needles. One of them, this lovely chunky Dahlia. So yeah, I think I will leave it there for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you all happy knitting. Bye!